So Mr. Munro could understand that someone was there. He wanted to see who was there in the cottage. He went to clarify everything, but the tall woman who was present there, she closed the door over on his face, and he could not understand anything. He returned with anger, and he told everything to Effie. That night, half in his sleep, he could see that he was just a little conscious, and he could see that Effie was dressing herself and was going out. My half-opened eyes fell upon her face, illuminated by the candlelight. So means half-opened eyes means his eyes were half-open, and he could see what? That the candlelight had lit up the face of Effie, and he could see her face. She was deadly pale and breathing fast, glancing towards the bed as she fastened her mantle to see if she had disturbed me. So she was deadly pale, means she was very much in fear. She was pale in color and breathing. She was taking her breathing very fast. She was looking at the bed as she was tying her hat, and to see if she had disturbed me. Means if she was trying to see whether she had disturbed Mr. Munro or not. And then she slipped noiselessly from the room. So then she moved away from the room in a very stealthy manner. Then I sat up in bed for about 20 minutes. So he sat on bed for 20 minutes. I was still puzzling over this, and when I heard the front door creak and her footsteps coming on the stairs. So he went up on the bed, and means he just his sleep was broken. He sat on his bed and thinking, and at that time what happened, after 20 minutes he could see that he was then puzzled also. At that time he heard that the front door was being opened, a sort of sound or creaking sound was made, and the footsteps were coming up the stairs. "Where have you been, Effie?" I asked as she entered. So as she entered, Mr. Munro asked that where she had been. She gave a violent start when I spoke. She became very angry, and she did not want to answer straightly when he spoke. It gave me a chill to see her slinking into her room. So it gave me a chill. He was extremely afraid as she just went inside the room stealthily, and wincing when her own husband spoke to her. And wincing means dropping her eyelids when her own husband spoke to her. "I don't wonder that you were surprised," said she, trembling. Now she was trembling, means she was trembling in fear, and she was telling that she did not think that Mr. Munro was surprised. "Why, I felt a longing for a breath of fresh air. I stood at the door for a few minutes." Means she pointed out that she had a longing, she had a desire to have a breath of fresh air. That's why she was standing at the door for a few minutes. All the time she never once looked in my direction. All the time she did not look at its direction. It was evident to me that she was saying what she was saying was false. So whatever she was saying was totally false. What was is that she was concealing. So at that time Mr. Munro was thinking that what she was hiding for him. I should have gone to that city that day, but I was too disturbed to pay attention to business matters. So he wanted to go to the city, but he was so disturbed, means due to Effie's behavior, unnatural behavior, he was so disturbed that he could not go to the city and to pay attention to his business matters. My wife seemed to be very upset as myself. His wife was also very, very disappointed. We hardly exchanged a word during breakfast. So they did not exchange or talk with each other during breakfast, and afterwards I went out for a walk. Afterwards he went out for the walk. I was back in Norbury by 1 o'clock. So he came back in Norbury by 1 o'clock. My way took me past the cottage, means he walked past the cottage, and as I passed, the door suddenly opened and my wife walked out. Now as he was passing the cottage, what happened? The door suddenly opened and his wife walked out. I was struck dumb with astonishment at the sight of her. So he could not understand that how could his wife come out of that cottage. So as he went out for a walk at Norbury, he could notice this. He did not go to his work, and he was struck dumb with astonishment. He was totally speech with astonishment at the sight of her. She seemed for an instant to wish to shrink back inside the house again. So she seemed to, for an instant, means to wish to shrink back inside the house again. Means it seemed that she wanted to go back inside the house again. And then she came forward with a very white face and frightened eyes. Then she came forward to him with in a fear, acute fear, with a very pale white face and frightened eyes. So said I, this is where you went during the night. So now Mr. Munro told his wife that he could understand that at night this lady visited the cottage only. What do you mean? She cried. Now she shouted loudly, and she asked that what he meant. You came here, I am sure of it. Who are those people that you should visit them at such an hour? Now Mr. Munro pointed out that he was sure if he came to that, if he visited that house, and he asked that who were those people that she should visit them at such an hour. So who were those people that at such point of time at night if he visited them? Now I have not been here before. If he told lies that she had not been there before. How can you tell me what you know is false? I cried. Now Mr. Munro became angry and blamed his wife that she was telling something. Whatever she was telling lie. Your very voice changes as you speak. So she pointed out that her very voice changed as she spoke. I shall enter that cottage and I shall probe the matter at the bottom. Now Mr. Munro was very angry and he wanted to go inside the cottage to know everything about the matter. No, for Jack's God's sake, she gasped. So she said in an open breath that gasped in an open breath means she took her breath with an open mouth, and she said she requested him not to enter the cottage. As I approached the door, she seized my sleeve and pulled me back. So as he was approaching the door, he was about to enter the door. She just got hold of his hand and she just pulled him back. I implore you not to do this, Jack, she cried. She shouted loudly, and she just requested him not to do that. I will tell you everything someday, but nothing but misery can come of it. So she pointed out that she would tell him everything someday, but nothing but misery would come out of it then. So if everything would be disclosed, so what would happen? Their life would be in very much problem. Our whole lives are stake and this. So their whole lives are just bound by this secret. Her words arrested me. So he was captured by his words and he could not move from that place, means he could not enter the house.